didn't really think he could bring it up the rail. Maybe played it, you know, not too risky, really bringing in the miss on the pink. Now, he's got to be careful here. There's a few reasons why. The block 8 hanging up in the corner, it's not a hard bank combination, believe it or not. I mean, it looks like it may be a little crazy, but if he doesn't get the snooker, that certainly may be an option for Naoyuki Oi. He played the bank the opposite corner. Pretty smart, trying to play a two-way, leaving distance.
Extension called.
And like many of the Polish players, really hard to get a read on how he's feeling, right? I mean, they're very, very focused at all times. Looking at him, though, you just kind of wonder how he slept last night, right? I mean, we've seen him every day. He looked a little more fresh in past days to me.
Well, he'll certainly have wanted to sleep well, because if he is to win the title today, so much pool to be played.
Yeah, Oi trying to possibly make it, but also run the cue ball for some type of safety. And ever since the SVB match, he really hasn't been threatened. Gotten off to nice leads. Ko Ping-yi really manhandled that match without Ko Ping-yi doing much wrong. Yeah, we all love the shot makers, and of course, guys like Oi with the energy, but you'll notice the Polish players as a whole keep it really simple. That's always a plus.
First major semi-final for Daniel Maciol, and he wins the first rack. Leads Naoyuki Oi 1-0. First look at Maciol's break.
Yeah, well, I didn't expect the scratch, but this table's been breaking kind of tough. So I was a little concerned just because Maciol, I think that's really where he's gotten those leads. Now, a couple funny kisses, but he did catch it a little thin. That's why I think he kind of went back to his chair, not really too upset. It's a little on him.
Ranked number 31 in the world.
Yeah, I was looking to go forward here, and they're both options. I kind of like going backwards myself. Yeah, I like that, especially with the 8 so open to both bottom corner pockets. Okay, just one to pay attention to. Close enough to it, he can work the cue ball pretty much however he wants. Probably the draw stroke. And he's going to follow by, so no threat of a scratch in the lower left.
There was a scratch, though, right at the start of the rack of Daniel Maciol's break, and it looks as though it's going to cost him the rack. Because Oi has cleared up and leveled at 1-1. Swiftly on then to rack 3.
And I'll tell you, in the last couple of days, we have seen this one ball missed quite often on the main table, and you can't really pinpoint why. I mean, looks like he got the arc on the cue ball he wanted, 2 rails back into the 9. Did squeeze the 2 ball in the lower corner. These long ones can do a lot early if you can bury him, and he's certainly going to go here. Looks like really natural, 2 cushions around. Got to be a little concerned about the purple 5, but I probably go ahead and be a little aggressive and come 2 cushions past the 5, between the 5 and 9. Doesn't want to get elevated. What you got to like about most of the 9-ball players, and a lot of them are very similar, but at the same time kind of do it their way.
So another term you might not be familiar with if you're new to the game is break and run. It's essentially when you pot something off the break, see out the rack from there, keep your opponent in his chair. And this looks like being the first we've seen in this semi-final.
Yeah, so that scratch on the break in game number 2. He's giving up a lot.
Yeah, because it is a winner breaks format, which means that by winning rack 2, Oi got the break in rack 3, and he's made the most of it.
Now remember the shot last night. If he gets a little thin on this, the lower right corner with the cue ball. Sweet shot. One thing you like about Oi, or at least as a player you recognize it, is he really goes with what he sees. Not really much adjustment. Delivers the cue. And we have a cell phone going off in the crowd. We'll get that taken care of. Oi liked that ringtone.
Extension called.
So as I said, he was a couple of racks away from the US Open final in 2021. Just lost 11-9 to the eventual winner, Carlo Biado. He's been a world semi-finalist as well, lost to Darren Appleton. He's had a few more good world championships since then. Number of last 16 runs.
Yeah, this one's going to hurt a little bit. A little shy of his mark. Things could have been very routine, and now I think he's got to put a little brain into this and what's going to happen coming across. Can he draw by the 8 and spin back over? Oh, really nice. Didn't want to fall underneath this too much. Could become odd. You can see narrowly missing the 8. Yeah, with low outside, he does have a chance to kiss this 3 in. Now you may leave a gap. No, I think he's all right.
Mentioned those World Championship and US Open semi-finals Oi has been in. In addition to that, Japan have reached the semi-finals of the World Cup of Pool twice, and he's been involved on both occasions. He was 1 rack away from getting there with Japan again 3 years ago. Lost Hill to the surprise package of that year, Slovakia.
Solid hit. And he's just going to leave it a hair awkward. Only reason saying that is Daniel's a lefty, even though a tall lefty. It's going to be a little bit of an awkward stretch, especially with the green 6 there. Now the key to this shot, especially when you're hitting kind of down on the ball, because he's over the 6, is make sure you don't baby it. Put a little more speed. Means a friendly bump.
Maciol's been known about for some time already. He was World Under-17 champion in Shanghai some 8 years ago now. Some very good players have won those underage titles in recent years.
He's going to land on the rail, and the problem with this is there any issue with the black 8? Is he going into that? Can he beat it? Yeah, perfect speed. Watch outside pocket if he does stun. Is he looking at a 2-way here? Certainly thought he would play the cross side bank.
Oh, what a big moment this could be so early on. There was a lot of pressure on that chance for Maciol. He knew the consequences if he missed at any stage, and they were obvious once he'd left the 9 over the pocket. And how quickly things can change in this game. As we always say, Jeremy, it was only about 30 seconds ago Maciol looked odds on.
And here, you know, with a 5-1 lead, a lot of heat on Daniel. Just keep it simple. Get the most simple snooker you can. Of course, don't leave the 2 near a pocket for the jump cue or anything like that, but don't feel like it's got to be a devastating snooker. Ball in hand is not needed. It's a hair odd. If I'm comfortable, I may just clip the 2 on the right side, go the rail, and just nestle on the 6. I think at this level in such close proximity, that's a pretty easy shot. Plus, you may get a lot out of it.
Extension called.
Could kind of shoot through the 2, bringing the 2 down. But if he gives them a look, yeah, something like that is what I liked. Yeah. Even though you're not getting the 2 all the way down table, you just got to realize, you know, you're so good, you should be able to pull that shot off.
He's already got a lot of history in this European Open. Last 16, 2 years ago. Quarterfinals last year, now in the semis. The progression continues. And he's under pressure here.
Nice hit, but you can see them coming together, so always going to have the upper hand again here in rack number 7 and can extend to what feels like a massive lead. Players will love that extra game to race to, though, Michael. That race to 11 becomes a little more mentally easing if you're trailing.
Force the opportunity, and although it isn't a break and run this time, it looks like being another very swift one on the board for Oi. That wasn't his greatest.
No, I was a little surprised, you know, just because the kind of the nervy, you know, kind of setting we're in, of course, wanting it so bad. I thought he might roll that in and go to the rail and play the 9 in the right middle. The corners are what they prefer, of course, but usually you can kind of play it to what the table's giving you. Big shot, though.
Oh, but he's just not missing anything much at the moment, is he? It's half a dozen racks in a row for Naoyuki Oi. He already leads 6-1. I think it was Ko Ping Chung got to the final of that when he was
leading
15.
By 7 racks to 1.
Who knows? A pretty prestigious tournament, though. He hasn't missed a 1, has he yet?
Oh, that's really rubbing salt into Daniel Maciol's wounds. That is the golden break. And it is now 7-1. But that goes back to what I was saying earlier. You pot the 9 at any stage and you win the rack so long as you've hit the lowest numbered ball remaining on the table first. And of course, you're always going to do that on the break because it's going to be the 1 at the top of the diamond. And then you're hoping, maybe, the odd time that the 9 might get a flick. Cue ball did just that. And the 9 obligingly dropped in. What do you make of the decision that he has come to?
Well, he's executing, so it was a solid decision, and he didn't want to give up the table. Maciol was praying he played safe, even if he did get the snooker, just to try and create something on his side, whatever it may be.
Extension called.
Remember, probably the biggest comeback of the event was done by this man right here against SVB. He trailed 8-4. That was to go into the final 16, I believe.
Yeah, so that was 6 in a row from there.
Unless this goes in, it's going to give up another easy one. And really a good effort. I mean, he was trying to hold the ball and bank the two rails to the top cushion, and some limited opportunity, not a whole lot working his way.
The other big turnaround, of course, was Tobias Bongers needing to win the last 5 racks to stay in the tournament against Yannick Pongers on the main table, and did it. But in terms of the scale of victory that Maciol was pulling off, I think his turnaround against SVB will be remembered much longer.
Yeah, I wonder. He's going to need to play for an angle, I think, here on the pink to work the cue ball. If he tries to get on the good side, he may make this a missable ball. Oh, he hit it sweet. No matter what he needs, he's doing it. I'll tell you, he was asking me what shot to shoot and whatnot because he just didn't know the game, but
well, he sure knows 9-ball, and he's playing it right now about as well as it's possible to. And if he can win just 3 more racks, he'll be in his first major final. It's 8-1.
and this is one, you know, with the racking area very clear. I wouldn't worry too much. I wouldn't try and pick it apart. I think you may get a double kiss on the 3 on the cue ball. After he pockets the 8, the 3 comes off the rail. You just don't want to hit it too hard. He wasn't unhappy the way he played it. Didn't expect to bank that underneath the pink 4 and get covered up. I'll tell you, if the kick isn't there to try and make it, I'd try to kick this and come across it and send the cue ball up table. Kick to the short cushion. Yeah. You should judge this pretty nicely. You'll have the 3 just kind of bank on the bottom cushion here on the bottom end as the cue ball escapes upstairs. Oh, he's just doing everything really well.
Maciol will try to take consolations away from what looks like being a heavy defeat here. As I said, he's number 56 in the world.
Extension called.
He actually dropped quite a number of places in the course of 2024, having started the year just inside the top 40. But even by getting this far, he'll get back to something like that level in the rankings.
I think this is going to settle.
For sure, he's given up a lot of chances, Jeremy, but it's not like he's been doing that from easy positions. It's because he keeps getting put under pressure by Oi. So it's not like Maciol can come away from this and have loads of shots to look back on and regret.
You know, filler can get going, but you think anyone's going to get going like this? No stalling in Naoyuki Oi's game.
Yeah, I've not seen Filler today. I do see Pius Labutas, though, across the hall from us, practicing. Looks as though he's going to be starting his 3rd major semi-final a good deal earlier than he would ever have foreseen.
Yeah, and when I walked in the building today, Oi was already hitting balls, and that was probably around 11 o'clock, I guess, 11:15.
It's 10 in a row for Naoyuki Oi. And in what feels like no time at all, he has made it to the hill. He is 1 rack away from reaching the final. He's been breaking so well. Whatever happens, this will be his last break.
Yeah, the 2's going to settle. The pink 4's up top with that blue 2. The purple 5's a little odd just because the 6 pinned on the upper left rail. I was hoping to see Maciol back at the table and see if he kind of maybe lightened the mood, showed us a bit of a smile, maybe some different kind of energy. I know he's not too happy at the moment.
talked about what Maciol's run will do for him in terms of the world rankings. Well, how about the impact on Oi? 31st at the moment by getting to the final, which looks inevitable now. Could be looking at a climb into the top 20. A lot of permutations involved, points coming off, and obviously the points other players get. And if he can win the final, getting pretty close to the world's top 10. And on this form, Jeremy, that may well be where he belongs.
Yeah, well, he's gotten better as his career's gone along.
Extension hold.
I thought he was perfect on the pink. He ended up a little short here on the purple. He's really got all the shots. Does he play kind of a firm stun off the 7 and spin towards the 6? Yeah, like that. Still got to show us a couple, though, to finish this match. And this is a really treacherous shot just because the 8 doesn't go past the 9. So not a lot of angle to work off the green 6. Wanted to catch the 7 a little thinner. That way the cue ball had a little more movement. I'll tell you, if he gets out here, of course, I think the inevitable is we're going to see one heck of an interview from Naoyuki Oi. Wow. And he got it back. It's enough, I think. Not easy. He's got to shoot here, right? Is he going to play the safety? No, he's playing the safety.
So he'll settle for just the 5 break-and runs in this match.
Yeah, show us one, Daniel.
It's not quite true to say that every time he's come to the table he's been in a position like this, but it probably feels like it for him at the moment. And there is that bit of that smile that you were hoping for, Jake.
Yeah, I've been in this spot kind of saying to myself, this guy just owned me right here in the biggest moment. But he's returned the favor before. And the white towel won't be thrown in, but may as well be.
Foul. Ball in hand. Start the shot clock.
And these semifinals and finals in the World 9-Ball Tour, when the scores have been like this, it's been special performances.
He won a ranking event in Helsinki last year, but this tournament is on the top